boy, man, this video has been a long time coming, well overdue. I'm returning to my first love, man. The thing that I listened to for a decade solid, the genre that I listened to, and it's time to show some of the records from that era out of the Cosmic Collection. This will be a treat if you're into like 80s metal and hard rock. This is going to be a great one, man. It's going to be powerful. You guys want to do a quick big chug before we get started? Man, I got to tell you, I know I show a lot of 60s and 70s like psych, post-psych hard rock stuff, garage rock. And I'll tell you why, man. I tell you why I moved away from metal. It was because of joining the VC, man. I discovered all this great music that I didn't know was out there. I was discovering all this different music and just soaking it in. And I just kind of put my metal stuff on the shelf and just left it, man. Now, some of you out there might say, well, fuck, man. Once a metalhead, always a metalhead. So maybe this guy doesn't have the cred, huh? Well, I'll tell you, man, I lived it back in the 80s, man. We had, like I said in the last video, I'm surprised that we all survived it, and some of us didn't make it, so. But anyway, let's do a big chug, big toast to big rock of the 80s, man, and we're gonna show, what I did is I pulled 10 randos from my metal collection over there. Yeah, metal collection screaming at me, it's our time! Well, let's do a big chug to the metal scene, right? You guys that are metalheads out there and headbangers, you're gonna dig this shit. Let's do it!
Oh, yes, my good friend, of course.
All right. Oh, I got 2 beers going here. I'm a two-fisted rock star. All right, let's start off the one that's kind of got some sentimental value to it. Why not start here, man? And that's WASP, The Last Command. Now, I used to live in Dallas, Texas, so there's a song on here called Blind in Texas, and I spent a lot of that time pretty blind. I mean, blind with alcohol, blind with dope, who knows what else. Look at that, man, that's fucking great, man. Blackie Lawless, Chris Holmes, this is crazy, man. And then check out this inner sleeve, this is fantastic. I love this. They're all impaled on stakes. Freaking great, man. Great songs like, you got Blind in Texas, you got Ball Crusher, Wild. I'm a wild child, come and love me. I want you. My heart's an exile, I need you to love me. And then you've got Blind in Texas, but the heaviest song on here, one of my favorites, is called Widowmaker. Great song, man. This WASP was, I think, probably at their prime on this, man. This was friggin' great record, man. One of my favorite in the collection, like I said, because of the Blind in Texas tune on there. Released in '85 on Capitol Records, man. Now this one is what we're listening to right now. This one came to me as a gift. I believe I got this from, I either got this from Bill Young, rest in peace, Bill, or I got it from Dana Kimborowitz, and that's the Tigers of Tang, Wildcat. Look at that. That's just a great cover, man. One of the coolest covers in the collection. That's a wall hanger there, man. But this is great. This is released in 1980 on MCA, reissued in '89 with a split double LP with this one and Spellbound, another killer album by Tigers of Tang. British heavy metal, Nuwabum all the way, baby. This is killer. 1980, man. This is heavy for 1980. And check out the pics of the band. That guitar player, he rips, man. And as you'll hear in the background. But yeah, he's a shredder for sure, man. I mean, listen to that. Anyway, this one I've shown a few times, but I'm gonna show it again. It's worth it, man, and that's VIVA. What the hell is going on? What the hell is going on with this cover, man? The Medusa. That looks freaking awesome, man. This is German metal here. Features on keyboards Barbara Schenker, the little sister of Rudolph and Michael Schenker. That's right, the Scorpions' little sister right there, man. This has just got like the raspy vocals, almost like sleaze rock too, man. Opens up with a song called The Bitch. And then you've got Little Rock Tonight, What Next, Breakout, Screaming for Your Love. Released in 1981 on CBS Records. This thing, this is a sleeper, man. This kind of went under the radar, but this thing rocks. These guys should have been way bigger. VIVA. What the hell is going on? Fuck if I know. If I don't know, who does? Now this one I know for a fact came from Dana Kimborowicz at one time. And that's another British heavy metal band called Tokyo Blade. Yeah, Midnight Rendezvous, released in 1984. What was it? Yeah, released in 84 on Combat Records. Wait, and what a great cover, man. Kind of reminds me of the Loudness albums, which you'll see here in this lineup. But look at the picture of the band, man. That's freaking great, man. The vocals on this can be melodic at times, but when he wants to get after it, man, he's heavy. And the guitars on this are great. You got a dual guitar attack here with this 5-piece. At times they sound a little like Maiden with the dual guitars. They get a Maiden vibe, but then when they slow down a little bit, get melodic, they sound a little bit like Def Leppard. But Tokyo Blade are friggin' fantastic, man. Definitely an album to watch out for if you like heavy 80s British heavy metal, man. For sure. Let's move. How about Minneapolis metal from the mid 80s with Slave Raider? Take the World by Storm, released in 1986 on Vision Records. Check those guys out. Now, these guys did play heavily gig in the Minneapolis, Minnesota area. They played First Avenue where Prince, you know, from Purple Rain, that whole thing. But you can see how big Prince's influence was, even on the metal bands. I mean, look at them. I mean, they look like they could be like a Prince type band. He had a huge influence over everybody. But this band, Slave Raider, used to come to a club from my town of Fort Dodge. And the singer, his name is Chainsaw Kane. That's him back there with the eye patch. And he used to bust out the chainsaw, and he'd like cut up a chair long before the guy in Jackal was doing it, by the way. But yeah, they used to come to this club, man, and Chainsaw Kane was all metal, man. He lived, ate, and breathed metal. Even though they didn't make it big, that guy would constantly gig either solo or with Slave Raider. I'm not sure. I think he may have passed away. I'm not sure, though. But we used to love going and seeing Slave Raider, man. Great stuff. Very anthemic kind of rock. Slave Raider from Minneapolis, Minnesota. And talk about guitar shredders, man. This is post-Kiss, Vinnie Vincent Invasion. They're self-titled. I used to call this Boys Are Gonna Rock. I don't know if that's actually the name of the album. I think it might be self-titled. But check out the glamminess on this, man. There's Vinnie Vincent right there. Then you've got Dana Strum there. That's the singer. He's probably the least glammed out guy. He looks like he could sing for a new wave band. But look at that guy. I think his spandex are freaking painted on, man. That's crazy, but he does have a head of hair, man. I'll give him about a 9 on the, I don't even know if I can call it an afro, but it's definitely ratted up to the sky. But yeah, this is a pretty important album, man. Released in 1986 on Chrysalis. This is Vinnie Vincent after he left Kiss, which he helped them make a comeback, really. He kind of helped save them. But, you know, his ego and his playing are unhinged, so it didn't sit well with Gene and Paul, I'm sure. Dana Strum produced this record. He's the bass player. Dana Strum also recruited Mark Slaughter to sing in this band. This guy was out. He sings on the record, but if you watch the video for Boys Are Gonna Rock, that's Mark Slaughter. And then of course Mark and Dana split off from Vinnie Vincent later to form Slaughter. But yeah, this is a great record if you like to hear crazy, just wild ass guitar solos. Vinnie Vincent, you got to give him his props, man, for sure. He can play. Maybe a little out of control, but great stuff, man. And then I told you Loudness was going to be in this, and I'm not lying to you. And there's the Rising Sun Japanese flag on the cover there. That looks awesome. This is Thunder in the East. Japanese heavy metal, man. We're keeping it international here on the old Cosmic Vinyl Metal Randos. But yeah, this is great, man. Released in 1985 on Atco Records. They had a huge anthem on this called Crazy Nights, and there's a part in there where they start like chanting MZA, MZA, and I always wondered what MZA meant. Come to find out, it doesn't mean anything. They just made it up. Jesus Christ. But yeah, man, this is a great record, man. Great vocals. Besides the hit Crazy Nights, you've got Like Hell, you've got Heavy Chains, a brooding metal thunder. It's friggin' awesome. Run for Your Life is a great jam. This is an awesome album, man. A totally underrated metal band from the 80s, and they just look cool as hell. The guitar player, I can't remember his name. Let's see if I can pronounce it. Akira Takasaki. I don't know. But anyway, man, he could friggin' blaze, man. He was a great guitarist. All right, next, one of my favorite bands from the 80s, glam metal scene, and that's friggin' RATT, man. Check them out. I love RATT. But here's the album cover, Dancing Undercover, right here, man. This was released in 1986 as well. God, 86 must have just been a killer year for friggin' hard rock and metal, man. Produced by Beau Hill, who produced their first two albums. Very polished production on this, pretty slick, but it sounds great. One thing I loved about RATT, man, they were all rock and roll, man. No ballads. They never had to rely on a ballad to get their album to sell. I don't think they ever did a ballad. There might be one song that's close, but otherwise, balladless rock and roll. Party rock in its best form right here, man. The tour, I remember seeing them on this tour. They had openers like Poison, Cinderella. I think Queensryche opened for them, maybe even Cheap Trick. But RATT Undercover, Warren DeMartini on guitars, Robin Crosby on guitars. Warren DeMartini, what an underrated axe player, man. He was killer. I seen RATT in concert more than any band I've ever seen in my life. Me and my brother were huge fans, man. We have met the band and drank with them, man. Great time. Too bad they can't hold their shit together, man. They're fighting constantly. Now we got these last two, and these are some big time albums here. You got Dio, Sacred Heart. released in 1985 on Warner Brothers. This is the third studio album by Dio, following Holy Diver and I almost said Diver Down. Holy Diver and Last in Line. Now, while this might not be as heavy as those two albums, this is still great stuff. Great songwriting. I had a couple of hits off of this. Rock and Roll Children and Hungry for Heaven. A couple of great songs. I always love Dio's covers. This one's no different, man. During their tour on this album, they had a giant dragon on stage, and Dio would like slay the dragon with his sword. The 80s were freaking great for live shows, man, for these metal bands. They were always so huge, so over the top. Man, and it was when you were like saying you were in the front row, you were like belly up to the stage, man. You could have your hands on the stage, and it was just huge stuff. Great productions. Loved the 80s for going and seeing live shows, and Dio was one of the best. This was also Vivian Campbell, the guitarist Vivian Campbell's last album with Dio. He was fired about midway through the tour. Him and Ronnie just did not get along at the end there, man. It's too bad. But Vivi was a bit of a ego head, man. And hey, if you don't want to do the rock and roll, just leave the band. And he did. He ended up playing in White Snake. I think he played with Def Leppard too. Now this one's a big one, man. This is the originator of metal, from going back to his days in Black Sabbath. I think you all know who I'm about to mention here. Ozzy Osbourne. Whoa! Love this, man. The Ultimate Sin. God, I remember when this came out, me and my brother driving around, and my little brother driving around in his 65 Mustang, man. It was killer. Pop this cassette in and just rock and roll the windows down. This is great album cover too. That artwork is fantastic, man. I think that's what Ozzy looks like at night, man. He morphs into this friggin' dragon creature. And you guys remember the video for Ultimate Sin? It was crazy. It was kind of cheesy. The girl like sees the billboard and turns into this chick right here during the show. Crazy times, man. And if I remember right, Ozzy was kind of glammed out too at that time, man. Check it out. You had Jakey Lee in the band at this time. He actually he wasn't going to contribute anything to the album until he got a written contract. As on Bark in the Moon, he never got any of his credits or money for the songwriting he contributed to Bark at the Moon. And for this one, he wasn't getting fucked again. So, but it probably also led to getting on Sharon's bad side. And goodbye, Jake. Have a nice life. Anyway, that's my 10 random albums. 10 random albums out of the metal collection, the Cosmic Metal Collection. I'm going to do some more metal videos. In fact, I got a record show coming up in February. Oh, I hope the metal gods shine down upon your rock and roll brother here, Cosmic Brian, because I'm going to be looking for strictly metal albums, so that I can share them with you. All right, guys, if you haven't been here before with Cosmic Vinyl, man, hit the subscribe button. Join us, man. Hang out. Grab a cold one, and let's have some beers, man. Let's smoke up, drink up. We do whatever we want here in the Cosmic Realm. It's a good place. Hit the subscribe button. Hang out. And also, if you want to be notified every time that we put a video up, me and my Fishman editor, the Perch, hit that friggin' bell, that notification bell. Yeah, hit the notification bell. Also, if you like what you see here, and I know you do, just like it. Just hit that thumbs up. It's fun to hit that thing. Anyway, one last toast to all my my cosmic brethren out there, the cosmonauts. Have an amazing week, and we will catch you probably midweek on Wednesday. Stay cool, stay cosmic. It's only rock and roll, but we friggin' love it, baby. Get the hell out of here, man. I'm gonna go listen to some metal.